What's going on, YouTube? Chris here. Want to bring you all an update today of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, XRP, Digibyte, and Amise Go. So we got a little bit of work to do today, guys. I'm going to be going through these a little bit quicker. We're going to be looking mostly on the 4-hour time frame. That's what we're on right now. Bitcoin's sitting at $8,810. And what you've seen here, what we've been paying attention to, this little pennant or symmetrical triangle, we have broken down to the downside. And now what we're doing is fighting over that support area that we've been looking at $8,800. Guys, the reason why this is such a sticky spot here as well is because, as we were talking about in the last video, this 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame has now been respected. We've been up above it since April 5th. So if we are to start falling through that and that starts to act as overhead resistance, that's when things can get ugly. You can see from this big dump over here, this entire move, we are underneath that 200 till we finally got back up above it. So that's very significant as the 200 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. We need to hold that as support. And right now, if we zoom in here, what you can see is that we're starting to drop below it. So that's a really critical area for us. If we do drop below that, guys, I would look to see if we could find support at $8,500. Then we'd really start getting low down into the $7,500 region and some lower areas, even lower than that. So we need to be careful with Bitcoin. As you can see on TradingView right now, it's still in that neutral range. The overall summary, it's showing a buy. We have a 10 sell, 9 neutral, 9 buy. You can see on the shorter time frame here, everything's turning more bearish. Right? From the 5 simple moving average, the 10, the 20, the 30, and then we have the longer ones, this 50 and the 2 or 50, 100 and 200. They're throwing buy signals right now because on the 1-day time frame, we're still up above that 50 moving average and that 200 moving average, which is going to be so important for Bitcoin. So if we take a look at this on the 1-day time frame here, what you can see is we did have our golden cross right there, which was not very meaningful because the moving averages were just moving sideways, so it wasn't as significant. But we'd need to hold that 50 moving averages support at 8,302. Then it would be down around that 200 moving average at $8,046. I wouldn't be surprised if we went back to that area and back tested it again, guys, because right up here, what you can see on the 1-day time frame, we pushed up. Here was our first top. We came back down. We set tweezer bottoms, came back up again and could not get over top of that. That was our double top right there. So we're just going to have to see. But right now, what I believe is that we are in a short-term downtrend for Bitcoin, and things are starting to get a little bit more hairy right now. And it's just we need to pay attention to these areas. They're very critical areas. Now, if we throw on the volatility stop on the 4-hour time frame as well, you can see, and that's going to show you the trend. The trend is down in the short term there. So we have to be aware of that, guys, and we have to pay attention to those type of things as we start to drop down and break down through this symmetrical triangle that we've been dealing with here. So that's Bitcoin, guys. You get something from that, like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Like I said, just running a little bit more neutral right now. I wouldn't be jumping into a position with all this overhead resistance on top of us right now. I would wait for better confirmation. That's just my opinion. So next we're going to go into Ethereum, and this is going to be on the 4-hour time frame. So Ethereum on the 4-hour time frame here, what you can see is we're still below this yellow downtrend. So you can see how significant this trend line is. So we've been having lower highs and higher lows coming in. So we're getting that squeezing effect here. The candles are getting extremely tight. We need to have a daily candle close 3 to 5% up above that yellow trend line. If we do that, then, guys, we can start making some strong moves. But right now, we need to get back over top of that $205, this purple horizontal line that I've had drawn on here for quite a long time. You can see how we've been consolidating around that area and really fighting at that area. So to the upside, we need to get up above that 205, then $215. To the downside, we would need to hold around that $192 and be down around that 175 that we wicked down to when we set this hammer candle and we started to move back to the upside. But you can see the volume's getting really low right now, and it's just throwing a lot of mixed signals at us. So what we're looking at next is our relative strength in this area. You can see we're still having lower highs coming in, higher lows coming in. So it's almost like this is getting into a little symmetrical triangle of its own, and we're just going to have to wait for the confirmation of the break to the upside or to the downside. Now, in terms of the technical analysis, it's showing an 8 sell, 9 neutral, 11 buy. You can see in the shorter term, though, this is where that cooling off is taking place. The 5, the 10, the 20, all that is showing that sell signal. So we need to be very careful in this area. This is a sticky spot for Ethereum, Bitcoin, all the different coins right now. Guys, we could either have a massive trend line break and we really start running hard and even testing up to around $300, or this could be one of those big, nasty, gnarly dumps to where we go back down to that 0.618, which we see all the time. And what I want to do is grab my Fibonacci here and show you. So from our low up to our high, we're going to change this to yellow so you can see it a little better. So right in here, what we ended up doing was we came down to that 0.236, and that's all the lower that we've retraced. Typically in cryptocurrency space, we get retracements back to that 0.382, the 0.5, and the 0.618, which would put us around 127, 142, then $158 would be the areas if we do start dropping to the downside that I would look at that are going to be important for us. So guys, that's just the same deal. This is an area where you got to be cautious here, because we really could have a strong break to the upside or a huge move to the downside, and we need to be prepared both ways and have those support and resistance levels in. So that's Ethereum on the 4-hour time frame. Guys, you like that? Thumbs up. Really help me out with that algorithm. We've just been getting buried by the algorithm, not really getting a lot of basically impressions and things put out there. So it is what it is. I'm just happy to be here with the people that I do have. But those thumbs up, exclamation points, even putting a letter down there, that really helps us out. So that was Bitcoin and Ethereum. Next, we're going to go to Litecoin, sitting at $42.26 right now. And of guys, Litecoin's actually been one of the weakest ones. If we take a look here, you can see we're at a 17 sell, 9 neutral, 2 buy. Moving averages, strong sell. Oscillators, 8 neutral, 2 sell, 1 buy is what we've been dealing with there. But the problem with Litecoin is here, we've just really been consolidating sideways ever since we dropped down and broke that trend line, that purple trend line there. We back tested, tried to come back up, back tested it, we failed, and now we're just moving sideways. The most important areas I'd say for Litecoin to stay up above $40 psychologically would be the support that I'd look at, and then to the upside, we need to start getting over $44.62, then be up around that $46.10. In terms of the RSI on the 4-hour, see if we have any divergences, anything like that going on. More so, guys, lower highs coming in right now. So Litecoin's one that I would be much more cautious with, even more so than like Ethereum or Bitcoin at this point. You can see we're still trading below this 200 moving average on the 1-day time frame. We're also below our 20 now and our 50 moving average. So this is just a dangerous spot for Litecoin right now, and you need to be aware of that, guys. So that's Litecoin, and that was on the 4-hour and then the 1-day time frame. So just more so being careful with Litecoin, in my opinion, guys, unless we get a nice big drop, you know, down into 38. Yeah, that $39 region, maybe we could find some support there, but it's just tough. We want to see this trend continue to move up, and we've just more so been moving sideways after we had this downward break. Next one we're going to get into, let's see here, guys. We did Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, then I know some people were asking about XRP. We'll take a quick look at that. This more so hasn't been looking the prettiest either. You can check here with the technical analysis. We have a 17 sell, 9 neutral, 2 buy, so very similar to what's going on with Litecoin right now. On the 4-hour time frame, guys, this was the big break for us. This was the trend line that I was looking at here, because I was actually playing an XRP position, and once we broke that trend line, I was out of that, and that was about 23 cents. But we ended up wicking all the way down to 11 cents, and now this secondary uptrend here is almost turning into just more consolidation, moving sideways. But for XRP, we need to stay up above the critical level. For me, would be about that 17 cents. We don't want to drop below 17 cents, and to the upside, we need to get up above 0.20844. And guys, if you hear some traffic noise, I apologize. It's about 90 degrees where I'm at right now and very humid, so I got to have the windows open right now. But you know, as we're looking at these things, guys, this is where technical analysis matters. And if we take our Fibonacci here and we go from our high up around that 34 cents all the way down to our low, what you can see is that we wicked up to that 0.618 on this reaction, and now we're having that rejection again. And that's where we have to be careful, because a lot of times that's where you'll make it, is that 0.618, and then you have a further dump. So for XRP right now, if you're in an XRP position, guys, be very careful. That's all I'm telling you, is because we have a lot going on here. And, you know, this chart is not looking the most beautiful, as you can see how we confirmed it even with that technical analysis, as it's showing all the indicators over here. So just be more cautious. But those are the areas around that 17 cents we need to hold as support is going to be important for XRP. And that's on the 4-hour time frame. And then the next one we're going to get into is going to be, as I know people were talking about OMG, which I do like OMG. Let's cover that. We're at $1.63 right now. And this has just made a very beautiful move. See, that's the trend you're looking for. You see how that trend's been up nice and strong? We had a retracement. We tried to go back up, though, and we failed. We did not get over this high right now. So for me, what I'd be looking at for support would be that 50 moving average on the 4-hour time frame. I'd like to see a bounce off that $1.49. That's going to be an area that I'm looking at, because typically in these uptrends, you're going to stay up above that 50 moving average on the 4-hour most of the time, or even this 200 down in here. So say we just blow through this 50 and we have a strong drop down, I'd be looking at that 200 moving average at about 92 cents. But I just don't know if we'll get there, because we've had such volume and such a strong move to the upside with this getting listed on Coinbase. You can also see this red horizontal line here. This was previous resistance that we broke up through. A lot of times you'll come back and back test that, then we could get a bounce off that, and that's also correlating around that $1.43, which is an important area in my opinion. In terms of the relative strength there, you can see, guys, and this is going to show you how to take profit. You see this long wick up here, climax volume, RSI is at 94. That's time to take that profit. You know, and these are the things that you'll learn as you continue to trade, so that you don't have to ride down a 30-40% move to the downside. That's just, it's demoralizing a lot of the times when you see all those profits that you potentially could have taken go away. Now, in terms of trading view, what I wanted to look at here, we have a strong buy. We're at a 2 sell, 9 neutral, 17 buy right there. Moving averages, of course, are going to be a strong buy because we're up above most. The only one that we're not up above, we're showing a sell signal on the simple moving average on the 5. So we need to be aware of that just in the shorter time frame. But in terms of the 1 day, you got that 17 buy, 9 neutral, 2 sell. 1 week, 14 buy, 7 neutral, 5 sell. And then 1 month from now, it's still showing an 8 buy, 7 neutral, 4 sell. So Mise Go is definitely in that uptrend now. It's just where we're going to retrace to before we get that potential next move to the upside, if we are going to make some strong moves to the upside. But I always want to follow the trend, chase the trend. And do you see here how we got up above that 200? And the whole time in this uptrend, we were up above it. That's what you want to see. Same deal. This whole time, we were basically up above this 50 as well. So we want to stay up above that 50 right now. Okay, so that's Mise Go, guys. Then we'll finish up with a little bit of DigiByte on the 4-hour time frame here. We'll take a look at Bittrex. And DigiByte, this is one because I like to look at a longer time frame for DigiByte because it can be so volatile and the trading volume is really low. I want to take a look at this on the 1 day time frame. Lower highs still coming in on the RSI. We're at 51 right now. Got a nice strong bounce off that 50 moving average. Our best hope right now is most likely to consolidate sideways, gain strength, and then see if we can get up above that 0.02231 is going to be the high. Otherwise, guys, this would just be another lower high. So here's our high, lower high, lower high, and we don't want to have a lower low. Do you see lower low, lower low? If we do get pushed down to a lower low, I'd be looking down around that 0.00838 if we do go that low, and that's going to be correlating right around that 200 moving average on the 1 day time frame as well. So DigiByte, just be a little more cautious with DigiByte, guys, because it can be so volatile both to the upside and the downside. And this is one where I said it's probably better some type of a hold play for you than to try to trade this, because it is so manipulated because of the low liquidity. And then DigiByte, we have a 9 sell, 8 neutral, 11 buy is what we're looking at right there. Oscillators, 1 sell, 7 neutral, 3 buy. And then for our moving averages, we're looking at an 8 sell, 1 neutral, 8 buy. So we're just going to have to see where we do get that next bounce, guys, see what's going to take place here. But you can see we have definitely cooled down. You have a lot of that selling volume that was also coming in for DigiByte. So never be afraid to take your profits. That's one thing that I can leave you with. DigiByte is down about 6% right now. So if you get something from this overall, guys, like I said, help me out. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, throw a thumbs up down there. Anything like that really helps out with the channel. And I'll do the best that I can to get back with you in the next day or two. So God bless you all, guys. Take care. Maranatha.